Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? I have an interesting day for you today. Something interesting before we begin. Thank you, Michael Kennedy, for that love on Facebook. Also, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel, Quantum Ladder Podcast. That is my boy, by the way, in case you don't know, Willie Borges. Rebranding, so that's awesome. A lot going on today. I've got a lot. This is a big day. This is gonna sound really crazy to you all, to anybody who's not a, geek nerd. What's up, Peanut? To anybody who's not a Mr. Empathetic Paranoia, what's up? Anyway, to anybody who's not a gamer, geek, nerd, whatever. What's up, picture? Because I don't see your name anymore, but hello, world. Michael Kennedy, what's up, my guy? Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. I know who you really are. Thank you for that love. I have something for you all today. Something different. Before we begin this stream today, let me tell you a story, because I thought it would be really interesting. And you know what? I feel like telling this story requires the proper ambiance, if you will. So buckle up, strap in, because I think this is going to be really, I think it's going to be, so let me just give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I did before I even started this. I'm a voice actor, you know this, but I'm also an amateur writer, as well as an amateur voice actor, obviously. But I'm an amateur writer. I aspire to write and tell stories. That's actually I really, really enjoy and am passionate about that. I did the talking thing because actually Louis Borges encouraged me to do it. And look where we are today, lady. Look where we are today. This is, again, amazing stuff. I may be poor, but I can tell you right now, I am living the dream. So, I have written a story with the help of some AI that is really interesting. And to be totally honest with you guys, AI is not there yet. I appreciate the help, but it is just not there at all. It cannot do what I would like for it to pump out 10 stories for me in like 15 minutes. It's not that good. It's okay. It's very good. It's very clever, but it's not that good. It's more about polishing your writing. And I've got something for you all that I've written with the help of AI. And I think you're going to like it. Let me see if I can find the right music here. Because this is creepy. Yeah, here we go. You guys ready for this story? Excuse me, I'm still having some allergy issues, but you'll have to bear with me on that one. So, this is a story that I literally created recently, and it's fantastic. I think it's one of my favorite stories. All right. Get ready. Let me adjust this music. I don't know. Again, this is the first time. I couldn't do it on I tried to do this on SOR, but it wouldn't work. So let's do this. So, this is the first story that I want to tell you guys. It's about a woman named Anna. And Anna was a nurse who worked at a hospital in New York City. And she loved her job, and she was dedicated, very dedicated to her patients. But one night, she was assigned to care for a man who had been in a car accident. He had severe head injuries and was in a coma. And he was hooked up to life support machines and that monitored his vital systems. He was completely in a vegetative state, so there's no brain activity that they could tell. And Anna would check on this man regularly and try to make him feel comfortable. She would talk to him in a soft voice, very low tone, hoping that one day he'd hear her voice and just spontaneously wake up. She felt really sorry for this man because he didn't have any visitors. No one seemed to care for this man. It was tragic. He was just a John Doe, a nameless victim of, in his case, a tragic car accident. But one night, as Anna was finishing her shift, she decided to say goodbye one last time before she left. And she walked into his room, and she saw that he was still in the same condition as before, vegetative, unresponsive. So she leans over and she whispers in his ear, "I hope you get better soon. You're not alone. I'm here with you." And as soon as she said those words, something strange happened. The man opened his eyes and he looked at her with a blank expression. And he grabbed her by the neck and he squeezed hard. He said in a raspy voice, "You're here for me? You're here for me? You're here for me?" And Anna was shocked and terrified, obviously, by what he had just done. His nails dug in deep into her neck. She was screaming, or trying to, but nothing would come out. She couldn't make even a sound because his fingers dug deep into her, dropping rapidly, and he was having a cardiac arrest. And he let go. And she fell back, terrified, gasping for air. And he fell back on his bed, and he gasped for his last breath, and he died. And Anna collapsed on the floor, coughing more and more, and continuing to gasp for air, because she had just had this man's fingernails deep into her jugular. And she looked at the man's lifeless body and felt a wave of pure terror wash over her. Now, what had just happened? She ran out of the room and called for help. The doctors rushed in and tried to revive the man, but it was way too late. He was dead. And Anna was taken to another room and treated for her injuries. She had bruises all over her neck, scratches on her face. Her fingernails were bleeding because she was trying to dig into his to get him off of her, but she couldn't. She was in shock, and she couldn't believe what just happened to her. This lifeless man, this man in a vegetative state. I mean, he was obviously a madman. She didn't know who he was. She didn't know what he wanted. She didn't know why he did that. She didn't know that previously, this man was a serial killer who had just escaped from prison a few days before he was in this vegetative state. She didn't know that he had killed several women before he got into the car accident that put him in a coma. And she didn't know that he had been waiting for someone to say those words to him. "You're here for me." Those were the last words that his victim had said before he killed him. Those were the words that triggered his murderous rage. And those were the words that brought him back from the dead. She had triggered something in this man with those words for one last kill. Now, this story is based on a true event that happened in 1987. A serial killer named Michael D'Angelo woke up from a coma after being in a car accident and attacking a nurse who was taking care of him, and he died shortly after due to his injuries. But the nurse survived, and obviously, as a consequence, was traumatized by the incident. To me, this is a terrifying story, but add to this because it is the creme de la creme of what I have to offer you all. And with that, let's bring this beat back up, put that cyberpunk music on, turn that live cam on. Let's talk about aliens, y'all. So, hope you liked it. Let's get this party started. There's some news, everybody. There's some news. There's some really big news in the Twitter sphere, the X sphere, whatever. And it's got to do with Ross Coulthard. In an article he posted that that is, well, I know it's going to upset some of you. So before we begin, If you guys want to join the roundtable, I know at least one of you hit me up and said you want to join. I am so happy to have you on. Allow me to start the Zoom. Allow me to open up the game for people that are watching for Monster Hunter, because there's a lot of Monster Hunter watchers, by the way. I will be playing Monster Hunter for you all. I'm going to share the Zoom in the Discord, but I will not be talking. We're going to be silenced until we get through this story, this article that was posted on Twitter by Ross Coulthard. So the link will be in the Discord for those who want to join. And Exosphere. And I will begin this. Let me share the Twitter. See in here. Not this one. That's going to be the Zoom link. And then this. Where are you, Zoom? You are minimized. Let's maximize you. Hope you guys like that story. That story, I was really happy to share that with you all. You don't have to like it, but I know somebody out there does. That is exactly why I'm behind on the Witch Queen. I'm going to have to buy that. I'm going to have to. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through that game over the weekend. It's not possible. That's one reason why, aside from a baby, that it requires a lot of attention. A lot of attention. And children. And other things. But I'll get there. I'm going to get that game eventually. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this Twitter, this X article up, and let's talk about this. So let's read what Ross Coulthard says. Ex-head of NASA inquiry Dr. Thomas Zerbichin says unidentified flying objects are real and may be unfriendly advanced technology. Yes, I said it. I didn't say it, actually. This guy did. I didn't post it. Well, I reposted it. I retweeted it in rebellion to X's branding change. It's real, y'all. Check it out. Oh, are we gonna read a ton of ads first? I have to subscribe. I have a way around this. Check this out. Let's see if we can do it this way. This is from telegraph.co.uk. Let me see if I can get some assistance here. I know what it's from. Full transparency, it's from telegraph.co. Not the most reliable. But let's find out why they say this. Let's see if it's true. The article reports on the views of Dr. Thomas Zerbichin, the former head of NASA's UFO inquiry, who said that unidentified flying objects, UFOs, are real and may be unfriendly advanced technology. He suggests that China may be behind some of the UFOs, as one of their spy balloons was shot down by U.S. fighter pilots in February. He also said that he spoke to witnesses who were convinced that they saw something unexplained in the sky, and that there could be multiple explanations for the phenomena, such as natural phenomena, camera problems, or technology from other places on Earth. He said it was important to investigate UFOs and prove their existence. The article also mentions some recent incidents involving UFOs, such as the 2004 sighting by U.S. Navy pilots off the coast of California, and the 2021 report by the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, that's the UAP Task Force, which examined 144 cases or incidents between 2004 and 2021. By the way, that was vastly underreported, vastly. The article is based on the interview with Dr. Zerbichin by The Telegraph. So they interviewed this dude, and this is what he said. Now, obviously, the article is alluding to the idea that the hostility or the potential dangers are coming from hostile nations versus coming from actual aliens. It's not explicitly saying that aliens are a threat. Just to be clear, so don't get your panties in a bunch, gentlemen. I know right now you're standing in front of the mirror with the thong on, probably hot pink, making sure that it looks right on you. You're turning to the side with the high heels on, making sure that your calves are nice and strong. And you're thinking to yourself, well, they didn't say alien. I know. Calm down, gentlemen. Calm down. But there's something here. Sorry, Bryson. I didn't mean to remote view your bedroom. I apologize. I really do. I'm trying to respect personal space. Psychically. It's just very difficult, you know? It's very, very difficult. Thank you, Picture. Because I don't know what your name is anymore. But Picture, I really appreciate that you liked my story. Picture. Thank you so much. Picture of alien on laptop. Now, another thing that I wanted to check out was Dan Warren, because Dan Warren has some really cool videos that he posts as well. And we're going to take a look at this and see what he has to say.
Retrieval programs have been discussed all over the mainstream media lately, but no one's actually talking about the rumored UFO crash retrievals that happened. May 1953.
Check it out. Dwight D. Eisenhower. I just spoke to Lauren Eisenhower last night, by the way, on Spaced Out Radio, in case you weren't there. That was quite interesting. So Dwight D. Eisenhower is inaugurated. Let's see, where is it? Where is the crash retrieval? Where is it at? Where is it at? Show me the goods. I don't see it. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Witnesses report 8 saucer-shaped UFOs streaking across the Arizona sky, zigging and zagging, bobbing and weaving, and ducking and dodging in what looks like a dogfight in the sky. And 70 years later, congressional hearing witness Ryan Graves relays that commercial pilots are seeing similar activities in the skies to this day.
I just told you guys this. I just told you this the other day. Man, listen.
So I have been reporting that north of the Atlantic and the north of the Pacific as well, pilots that are doing those transatlantic or trans-Pacific flights are seeing various objects, lights that are coming down, behaving in strange ways, holding in a pattern, look like almost like they're dogfighting in space in some way, kind of back and forth with each other.
Which sounds surprisingly similar to a mass sighting of an aerial battle that occurred between triangular objects, spheres.
That's from the Upanishad, or wait, what's the name of that one? It's one of the Hindu religious texts. I want to say the Upanishads, but I'm not sure now.
Spheres and cylinders that took place 461 years ago over a small town in Germany named Nuremberg. And much like the spherical objects depicted as falling.
Okay, that's separate. So keep in mind, there was another incident that happened thousands of years ago in the, again, I think it's the Upanishads. Somebody fact check me on that. It's one of the Hindu texts. The names are very complicated, but right now my memory is telling me it's the Upanishads.
Out of the sky and crashing into the ground in this engraving. The 1953 dogfight ended with 3 of the 8 objects crashing into the ground near Kingman, Arizona. 1 was completely destroyed, 1 was severely damaged when it clipped the edge of a butte, and surprisingly, 1 was found completely intact without a scratch on it. So if there have been UFO battles taking place in the skies over Kingsman, Nuremberg, and the North Atlantic and Pacific, between non-friendly groups of non-human intelligences, does this provide a simple answer to a difficult question that's often asked by skeptics as well as newcomers to this topic? If they're so advanced that they can get here, why would they crash when they arrive?
Because they're squabbing in space, man. They got space beef. That's why they're abducting our cows, to up that space beef game, fam. My gosh.
In addition to the possibility of a battle being the reason for the Kingman UFO crashes, other potential explanations have been put forward, including the possibility of the UAPs falling from the skies due to a series of massive explosions unleashed by the Atomic Energy Commission at a nearby test site in Nevada, which was codenamed Upshot Knothole. Or could the crashes have been caused by a trio of immensely powerful experimental radar sites in the area that generated high output, high energy, short bolts of microwave radiation. Regardless of the reason, the crafts crashed. And it's reported that the military quickly descended upon the Kingman crash site and secured the site until a recovery team arrived and took the craft. Although researchers have been unable to obtain any material left behind from the craft themselves, when they visited the crash site, they did find evidence of the military having a presence there. And this evidence came in the form of military-grade food canisters that were dated back to 1953. So are these Kingman craft in the inventory of the UFOs that David Grush alleges that the US has possession of? Hopefully, first-hand witnesses of these crash retrieval programs will begin to come forward, and we'll finally get answers to that as well as many other questions. But until then, check out the rest of this story on Mystery Wire that George Knapp wrote. And if you want to hear all the controversy that surrounds this Kingman event, check out the April 17th episode of Somewhere in the Skies. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Top secret.
Go to Dan Warren's Twitter page, like his Twitter page, follow him, because he has great content too. So apparently I don't know what's going on, but the Zoom link is giving people problems. I'm gonna try to send another one. Let's see if it works. I'll try to send it. My bad, everybody, if you try to get in. I don't know why it didn't work, but I'll try to do it again. Let me know if that works or not. I don't know what's going on. I can't send it to the Gmail because, well, actually, yes, I can. Hold on. Let me try sending it to your email. So Midwest Night Watcher wants to hop in and join us, so we're gonna do that. And I'm going to start this game time, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because we can talk about everything. We can talk about things as we go along here. So let's check it out. Yeah, there have been reports about the dogfighting in space, and I know honestly, I've wondered about the idea of whether or not we're seeing actual dogfights, or I'm seeing like battles between different alien or non-human intelligences. There's also a situation in Peru, which we're gonna check out here on Reddit, but we'll go over that in a second. But let me send Midwest Night Watchers a Zoom link in his email. Let's check it out. And then, my gosh. Now the Reddit post is a video. So hey guys, I found this video made to Peru release entities that in Peru. This is Tribase Peru just released an update about the entities. Okay, well the video is being ridiculous. So let's check out YouTube. Check it out. All right, let me share this with you all. Close out my email. This is the last thing we're gonna pull up before I game. So if you're watching this for the Monster Hunter, don't worry, I'm getting there. Just give me a second. I gotta start off strong so we can have a good conversation here. You dig? Yeah, let's go ahead and pull this up, and then settings. There we go. Let's see what it is. Let's check it out. This is by all credit goes to Unexplained Mysteries YouTube channel. Go to their channel, like, follow, subscribe, share.
Mr. Vernet, a researcher in Brazil, said that he is in contact with the Iquitu people at San Antonio de Pintuyacu, and he said the Iquitu people asked him to share a video of them.
Dang, why they gotta use all these big words in a different language? Sakapitu pupu.
Protesting prosecutor Carlos Quintanilla, who they said never visited the site. For those unaware, this is the individual responsible for saying that the entities were miners with jetpacks. But the Iquitu people said they've never been to.
They said never visited the site.
Guy's a liar.
Where? This is the individual responsible for saying that the entities were miners.
The area, and that these sightings are still happening. They have sent out a video protesting these claims.
Bueno, en este momento, muy buenas tardes. Primeramente, agradecerle, ¿no?, a cada uno de ustedes, solamente para denegar lo que viene mencionando el fiscal en las redes sociales, de que la comunidad nativa de San Antonio, ese fiscal ha venido acá a la comunidad y nosotros como comunidad desmentimos, ¿no? Porque si bien es cierto, ese fiscal no ha llegado a la comunidad, lo que ha llegado sí es la policía, ¿no? Solamente viene a levantar acta de que cómo ha pasado ese suceso durante esa tarde, lo que ha pasado con la señorita.
Listen, the community is saying that what's being said in the media is lying. In case you don't know what they're saying, there's subtitles. The people are saying that's not true. They lied. It's not jetpack miners. They did not say that.
Pero más otra, digamos, fiscal no han venido acá, ningún fiscal a la comunidad, pero aún con todo pedimos, ¿no?, como autoridad a la fiscalía que venga a intervenir en nuestra situación que estamos pasando y ver, pues, ¿no?, para que constaten en cómo estamos pasando nosotros acá en la comunidad, ¿no? Y también que traigan sus implementos para poder sobrevolar en nuestra comunidad en la noche, para que ellos mismos constaten, porque algunos comuneros ya están pidiendo refuerzos a unas ONG acá, pero solamente podemos captar en el día, ¿no? Si bien es cierto, en el día no hay atropello en la comunidad, pero lo que se atropellan, señores, son en la noche. Y para eso le hago un pedido, ¿no?, ¿verdad?, que vengan a visitar nuestra comunidad, que traigan periodistas, algo para que puedan llevar mejor información. Muchísimas gracias.
People are now certain that the theory of miners being on jetpacks was put forward in order to downplay what's happening in Peru. Those who have been investigating this story have said that the jetpack theory now lacks any credibility. Oddly enough, some residents have said that military officials have been seen throughout the area and said that it's like they are searching for something. Many have also said that it's the first time they have ever heard of gold miners using jetpacks, and again pointed out that they would require heavy-duty equipment to mine gold from a river. Online users have said that this story doesn't add up, and note that they are likely using illegal miners as a way to distract people from what's actually happening throughout the area. The Iquitu informed journalists that the recent invasion, which started on July 11th, has subjected the residents to relentless assaults by mysterious beings. However, many locals have...
The irony is that if this is true, okay, because we don't know if it's true, but if it's true, the crazy thing about this is that, again, these are light-looking beings that are coming in the form of a light form. I mentioned this before, but Brazil is not having the same in Peru, or they're not having the same experience that the U.S. is having with the, friendly ones.
Said that news outlets have twisted their words and said that the entities were not wearing grey clothing, but rather their actual skin was grey, and that the entities gave off no noise, and no jetpacks were seen during these encounters. What's interesting about this story is that it's not the first time that this has happened, and residents who live close to the region have said that these 7-foot-tall entities have been encountered before. On top of this, these entities were not affected by their weapons and had the ability to give off a blinding light, which would disorientate the eyewitnesses. Some have suggested that a possible cover-up is happening and that the illegal activities are being used as a front for what's happening right now. Others back this up by saying that the entities were over 7 feet tall and were very slender. As of right now, officials are trying to suggest illegal miners as a possible cause, but as some have said, human miners are not immune to bullets. According to Jairo Avila, an Iquitu leader, he stated to radio programmers that these individuals are extraterrestrials. Avila admitted to the local radio station that he fired 2 shots at them, but instead of falling, the entity stood up and vanished. The mysterious events in the community have caused fear among the residents. However, another witness for the prosecution, a teacher, observed these strange creatures ascending from the ground, using more conventional methods. Many are not believing these claims, saying that you need heavy-duty equipment to be able to mine gold from a riverbed, and further state that none of this equipment was seen during these encounters. The Iquitu community has requested assistance from the Peruvian military due to a series of unusual and perplexing incidents. The local people characterized the assailants as beings with a silver appearance and large heads. The Iquitu people, residing in a village situated about 10 hours away from Loreto's capital, Iquitos, find themselves unable to continue their normal routines. In response, they have taken the initiative to form nighttime patrols in order to confront their technologically advanced assailants. They are enacting these measures until the Peruvian military can step in and provide assistance. As of right now, more and more information is being released about the mysterious.
Okay, that's enough. So let's talk about this. I think it's just going to kind of ramble. No offense, but I think it's got a lot of filler content. He's got a YouTube channel to run, but good detail. I appreciate the content. I want to give all credit to Unexplained Mysteries YouTube channel for the video that we just partially watched with some commentary. Now, talk to me, Midwest Night Watcher. What's up, man? What do you think?
I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, man. I hear you perfectly fine.
All right. Just seemed like there's a little lag on my end.
No, we hear you perfectly, man. It's good. So, what do you think about the miners? Do you think that the Peruvian miners with the jetpacks is as legit, or do you think that there's obviously a cover-up going on and they're just full of crap?
I personally think there's a cover-up. I mean, I don't know if they'd want to spend that kind of money on jetpacks just to keep them away from their mines.
That's what I said. I mean, come on, they're literally they're miners. They're not like wealthy people there that are making a killing on they wouldn't be mining. They wouldn't be mining if they were wealthy and well off to be able to buy a freaking jetpack. It sounds stupid. Plus, I mean, again, how can you mistake the sound of a jetpack in the middle of a thick, dense freaking forest? Talk about master jetpack flyers. They could dodge in between trees. A thick, dense forest. I don't even understand why anybody would believe that crap.
Not to mention, the atrocities. If they're really peeling their faces off. I mean, are the miners going to be subject to that crime?
That's a good question. Will there be justice? If that's true, how come no one's being held accountable? How come there's no talk about justice and about, as the people were saying, the prosecutors doing their job? Because they obviously know that there's no, at least there's no, I don't know how to say this, no ordinary suspect here. So, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean,
it wasn't a great, pleasant encounter with these specific beings. So whoever they are, there's an issue. Last night, Laura Eisenhower, that's the great granddaughter of President Eisenhower, she said that there's all kinds of things going on. She mentioned so many different programs, so many different things happening, and again, she kind of briefly mentioned about Phil Snyder and the veracity of his claims, being taken seriously. So there's something here. There is something here, man.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, you got to wonder, that you guys talked about on the program, and I've seen other interviews with her that, she talks about the involvement of the government with the aliens,
Right.
So is that why they meet at Camp David in secret? Do they have secret meetings with them so it's not out in the public?
That was a really, again, she said so many things that I was like, man, I gotta, like, there was a lot of information, a lot of different programs mentioned, a lot of different things mentioned. And again, you're right. Is this like the government, the non-human intelligence working with the secret element of the government that's separate from the, like, oversight from the president, from any kind of oversight? She said Eisenhower had nothing to do with the deal, right? She claims that Eisenhower had nothing to do with it. It was done by behind his back by MJ-12. And those still doing weird stuff. She talked about the occult and the Illuminati. I mean, she was really going hard last night on all of the things that she was bringing up, all the possible theories that could be happening with this situation.
So it makes you wonder, though, what if it is an alien involvement with the government? What's in Peru?
I don't know. I mean, I just wish I had the answers to this. I wish that there was more information. There's still not a lot of information out there. We still have to wait and see. It's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, but ultimately, I think that we have to use our better judgment. We really have to do our due diligence ourselves, like people have mentioned to me, right? Oh my stars, she mentioned MJ-12. Yeah, MJ-12 is definitely real. I mean, there's something to it. They changed the name of it over the decades, according to people, that whistleblowers, and according to UFO researchers like Richard Dolan and others. The name MJ-12 has changed, but the clandestine group that's worked under the same auspices, they still exist to this day. And they're the ones that are allegedly part of the people behind, and they may not be 12, but they're the ones that are allegedly behind these secret deals with aliens, these non-human intelligences that are not good for the planet. They're the ones that went behind our back, behind President Truman's back, and and made a deal with them.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever know.
I think I think that this is where, you know what? I watched the podcast with Bryce Sable and Ross Coulthard this morning. It's a brand new one that just came out. It was called The Pushback. I think it was called Pushback. And they said they essentially ended up with, if the legislation doesn't get pushed through with the NDAA, the amendment, fully pushed through, then we could be waiting for years before there's an official acknowledgement and actual open disclosure of this phenomena. However, if they do that, then they will be left in the dust, because there are still some things that are coming out even without the government. Basically, disclosure won't come from them if it doesn't work. If this NDAA doesn't get pushed through, it'll happen regardless. It's gonna happen regardless. There's nothing they can do about it. It just won't come from the official, sources.
Well, see, that's what we were talking about yesterday. We have all these whistleblowers, and yeah, we know what's going on. We have disclosure amongst ourselves. But, will the government or the agencies, whoever they are, will they actually admit to it? And if they do, eventually, it's going to be a little too late, because, how are we going to trust them when, like I said, they don't tell us right away when it happens?
Good question. Yeah, you guys express a lot of hesitation to trust the government, and I don't blame you at all. To be honest, I don't blame you at all. Again, it's their doing. And now when I say they, I don't mean like everybody, because there are good and bad in everything. I think that there are people just doing their job. There are people that are trying to stay in power. There are people that are just trying to push a political agenda. Then there are the people that are ideologues. They really believe in what they're doing. And we have to be able to understand that any human beings, just like anything, are not a monolith. We mentioned this last night. They're diverse, they're complex. There's a dynamic that's not cut and dry, black and white. And so when we think about the government, we're not even talking about the whole government. We're talking about the elements that have been keeping this stuff a secret from us all for decades. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know you have good and bad actors, in Congress and the government, but they all push an agenda and they all tell lies. So it's like when they actually do tell us the truth, you got to discern and try to figure out, okay, which one is actually the truth and which one are they trying to bamboozle us on?
That's hard to tell. It's difficult to tell, man. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I wish that we were able to. I still believe that it's possible for us to discern, right? We have discernment. We are, if you will, your God-given ability to discern the truth. You can see through the BS. You can see through the BS. The question, remember, you don't never go full retard, man. You got to be able to see through the truth without going all the way down a rabbit hole that it's unnecessary to do so. I think that we can tell what the truth is here. We just have to stay true to ourselves and the data and what we know is a time-tested truth, according to what we've been told by whistleblowers, people that have risked everything to come forward, people that have been deleted from existence by. Hold on one second. I don't think I played this for you guys yesterday. Let's check this out. I just realized, yeah, I didn't realize I'm so sorry, everybody watching for Monster Hunter. I'm so sorry I didn't realize that I wasn't playing Monster Hunter. I was, but you couldn't see it. I want to show you guys something and then I'll put Monster Hunter on. I'm so sorry. Here it is. 1 second here. Here it is. Check this out.
About the disclosure and this movement in which we might get in the mainstream media, the fact that we're not alone sometime in the future. These congressional hearings in which experiencers are going to testify before Congress. Experiencers being people that were witness to UFOs and actually were physically affected by their proximity to these UFOs. Now, these experiencers are important, but it pains me to think that important whistleblowers like Carl Wolf are no longer around to also take part in these congressional hearings. Carl Wolf passed away in 2018. Just like John Mack was hit by a car and this tragically ended his life. In 2018, Carl Wolf was also hit by a car when he was on his bike. And this is a very unfortunate loss. His family mourns his loss, as does the UFO research community.
Let's say we know all of these implications, and let's say it's 1960 and we know some of these things, right? Well, you think of the world back then. The world of 1960, no way would that world be ready for some of the intellectual realities of what we think we know now. Because actually, our world in their metal spaceships have just arrived, and you know, that whole thing. And that's how people were talking back in the 50s, that's what they thought. Or at least some of them were thinking along these lines. And that's clearly not, like, we're well past that. Whatever the reality of this is, this phenomenon signifies a reality that is mind-bending, that we're gonna have to make some adjustments. So let's say back in 1960, we've got some inkling of this. And we have to ask ourselves, what the hell do we do with this information? And how could we ever get the public up to speed on this? And if we were to really think seriously about that, we would realize this will take generations. This cannot happen right away. There's no way. No way.
Okay, so thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like he said, how will you ever get the public up to speed?
Yeah, given how big, how monumental this truth is. I mean, it's a monumental, man. The truth about this phenomena is there are such big implications that you can't just tell people because they'll reject it and deny it anyway. I mean, look, even within well, think about what we talked about yesterday. It's hard for us to even accept some things from people because the UFO community is jaded by the last 80, almost century of lies and misinformation.
Yeah, like I said, you don't ever know what to believe. I mean, even if they do, like was suggested, open up the hangars and show us everything, how do we know it's all real or that's exactly what they're showing us? Or is it some kind of Hollywood prop that they got put up there in front of us to parade us in front of?
And then they can use that as like, oh, you know that time we showed you guys the UFO stuff? Yeah, that was a hoax, so there's nothing here. See, even when we try to show you that turned out to be a hoax too. They'll debunk their own self, right? They'll create a debunking scenario so they can debunk themselves only to verify that there's nothing to see here, folks. That is a terrifying thought. That's a terrifying thought to me.
I mean, they could use Hollywood special effects and have, just like in all the movies where they show you the aliens in the tubes, and liquid and stuff. They can say, hey, this is what we got. Well, I don't know if was a living, breathing alien at the time, or there's just some kind of Hollywood special effect. Man,
they've got a lot of trust building to do, and they're not doing a great job right now. That's for sure. They're doing a terrible job. This whole effort to try to bring on disclosure. We have to trust. Honestly, we can't trust the words of the government. We got to trust the whistleblowers. We have to. This is why I think it's so important to trust the whistleblowers who are going against the government, because they're the ones that are trying to tell us what's going on, whereas the government, the powers that be, are trying to obfuscate and stonewall the truth from being told to the American people and the world. So we gotta be supportive of these whistleblowers. I'm gonna keep pushing that because the only thing that I think is wrong with the UFO community is the fact that they're denying the testimony of whistleblowers. Like, the people that you would know the truth from, they're like, I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's a strange road to maneuver down. I mean, you got all these people that are talking about whistleblowers, disclosures, and then we don't trust each other when we say it, or somebody else is trying to jump in the limelight ahead of somebody else,
Yeah, it's a shame, man. We got to figure something out. I mean, I think for me, I keep mentioning this. I believe in consciousness transfer. I believe in aligning consciousnesses, energies, whatever you will. When we talk about these things, I think it's important for us to state openly that what we want, and what I want is for us to come together, to be unified in our intention to get this information out, and to be supportive excuse me, to be supportive of whistleblowers, because again, these are people that are risking it all to tell us what's going on. Black Ace Omega, what's up, my guy? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you in the chat. But yeah, these are people that are risking so much to tell us these things. We gotta be supportive of them. Otherwise, no more. You want to know the truth? Hey, who are you gonna find out from? People that are fighting against the Okay, imagine this. All right, you're working for the government. You work on a secret special black project, and you think, oh yeah, there's no UFOs, there's no aliens. You go work for this company. Not only do you find out that they're aliens, you find out that they're lying about it. And you think that you need to do something, and you're plotting like, I'm gonna tell the world. You risk, you're like, man, if I tell the world, I can end up dead, like Phil Snyder, like some of these other people that got hit by cars randomly or fell out of a building or whatever. I gotta be careful about how I do this, but I'm gonna do it, and I want to do it the right way. You do it the right way. You go through the proper channels. You get legislation going on. You bring forth more whistleblowers. You go through and you risk your life. You get threatened to be fired, to get your security clearance. Everything, your whole life's work gets threatened to be, it's in jeopardy now, and you do it for what you believe is right for the American people, for the world. You think that you're going to do something that everyone is not only going to appreciate but benefit from, and everybody says you're a liar. Oh my gosh, what makes you think anybody else is ever going to do it now? Like, who's ever going to want to do that now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that, like you said, if you go through the right channels and they silence you, or they don't want you to reveal what they don't want you to reveal, then if you go out on your own and try to tell everybody, then they say you're rogue and you're crazy anyway.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a, like Bob Lazar said, it's like, why would I waste my time when people treated me the way that they did? I feel like Grush is probably, right now, Grush is like in the same situation where it's like, man, I risked everything for you people. I don't know what he thinks. I don't know what his psychology is, but I can only imagine that he would be thinking that. I would be thinking that. I mean, me, myself here, I've thought, man, I've found out some things that I thought, I'm happy that I was told that I can talk about it in a vague way to kind of get this information out. And then for people to only tell me that I'm full of crap, and to literally like attack me online, it's like, well, you know what? You guys don't even deserve to know, not you specifically, but these people don't even deserve to know the truth. If you're gonna treat people like that, then keep believing in blurry Bigfoot photos for the rest of your life, because you don't deserve to know what's really going on here.
I think the only way that this is ever going to change is if we get all these people on, and that's not necessarily a panel, but like a committee board, whether it's Lou and Grush and Greer and all them, and they have to be in agreement with each other. Okay, we're going to talk about stuff, and we're not going to put each other down. We may have different opinions on certain things, but let's be a one front with the whistleblowers, all the experiencers, all the people that are out in front of this, and advocate it, get it out there in front of the people, not necessarily in front of Congress, have their own.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll ever see them guys agree or be in one place at the same time, not pushing their own stuff.
No, I mean, why would they? Well, think about what happened with Lou, right? Lou is still to this day receiving so many attacks on himself and his credibility and his intentions. People are claiming that Elizondo is a double agent. You got Richard Doty telling people that aliens like strawberry ice cream, and they're like, I love them. But then Lou Elizondo is like, hey, listen, I can tell you for sure this is what's happening in the government. But pay attention to my breadcrumbs. I can't explicitly tell you, but just so you know, this is what's going on. People are like, he's a disinformation agent. I really believe that a lot of people seriously just don't deserve to know the truth. I don't think anybody who assaults someone online, especially somebody who's risking everything, namely whistleblowers, to tell them the truth, I don't think they deserve to know the truth if they're going to attack whistleblowers. No way.
Well, once he got involved in the government, though, whether he was there or part of the, double agent or whatever you want to say, but once he was associated with him, then the mistrust came in, and everybody's going to have their own conspiracy theories just about him.
Yeah, 100%, man.
But if he would have stayed away from that and just been out on his own like he was doing, then I think he still would have had the trust of everybody.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't have any support. Like, having the trust of people is great, but if you stand alone, especially in this kind of a fight, you're not going to make it. You have to have allies, especially powerful ones that are connected, like Jim Semivan and others. And I think that's what's important about coming together, is having that strong group of allies who are very credible. I think the togetherness is the point of pushing for this, like we talk about, this disclosure. It's what's going to help get that disclosure pushed forward.
Well, that's like what I was saying. They need to all come up with a united front. Whether put their differences aside and push the agenda. Like, hey, we get it out there in front of the people.
They won't do that. Well, remember, that's the people that are behind this stuff are keeping us from having that opportunity. They're keeping that from us, man. I mean, as much as I'm with you 100%, obviously, I want to know what the heck's going on. The reason why we're not going to get it is simply because of the people that are keeping, obfuscating and stonewalling the truth. It takes people like Elizondo and, Christopher Mellon and Jim Semivan and Leslie Keene, if you will. I know she's not inside, but she's talked to, again, she's got a book called, Generals, Pilots, and Military or Government Officials Go on the Record. I think that it's people like that are doing the real boots on the ground, in the thick of it all. That's how we're going to get to these truths. We're not going to get to it by fighting these people and calling them charlatans, especially when all they've done is exactly what we want them to do, and all they've said is exactly what we've wanted them to say. I find that strange. You can get me pushed. By the way, everybody disagrees with me. By the way, just so you know. You can disagree with me too, but I just want you to know that right now. This is a place to tell me I'm wrong. This is what we do here.
I'm just telling you how I feel, and sometimes we agree, and other times we don't. It don't matter to me.
Oh no, we love it here. You could tell like Garioki is constantly telling me I'm wrong. I have a lot of fun with that. That's where the really good conversations come into play. But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that you can have a conversation with somebody, and that you don't have to agree on everything, but you can have that conversation and still be friends and still be respectful in that conversation. I respect that a lot, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess I get that from my my parents. My dad, he was kind of politically involved in our local community, and back then you could have two different views and two different sides, and you can actually get in front, and you might even argue, get red in the face, but at the end of it, you were still neighbors and friends. You didn't let that bother you. Now it's like there's lines drawn, and I just don't understand.
Times have definitely changed. Black Ace Omega says in the chat, we need to recruit a billionaire. We got Bob Bigelow, my guy. They're walking among us. Bob Bigelow said that the aliens are walking among us, and everybody hates him. Not everybody, but the UFO community is against Bob Bigelow. I'm telling you, my guy. It's the problem is that people are disillusioned. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance, and couple that with disinformation campaigns that have been conducted on the American people forever. You got what you got. We got what we got today, and I don't blame people for being skeptical, but I will say, to kind of continue on that point, I think that if we're not doing our due diligence, each of us, we don't deserve to know the truth.
Yeah, but even Bigelow, he's out there in the media and has, the TV show and all that stuff. So it's hard to take him kind of serious once in a while too.
It is. I mean, again, that's why I said I don't blame people to an extent. Like, again, if they're telling us what we've always wanted to know, what are we fighting for? Why are we fighting that? I don't get that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting what we've been asking for. What's the resistance coming from? hold on 1 second. I gotta find out how to get this Dragonite ore, my guy. anyway, yeah, so hold on 1 second. I'm literally, I don't think it's a coincidence. This is the Armenian speaking. I don't think it's a coincidence that the UFO question was also directed at Chris Christie, and he made a mockery live at the GOP debate. Guys, I don't believe, I mean, the conspiracy only goes so far here with me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say I think that asking the question was because there was so much talk about it, congressional hearings, so forth. I think his response wasn't planned at all. I think that was a natural response. To my opinion, it was obviously a natural response. I just feel like, yeah, we're going a little too. You don't never go full retard, man. They killed the question after only one person answered. Yeah, because everybody was. There's still a stigma. Why is it like that? Because of NASA. Because of NASA. NASA made it like that, man. NASA literally made Bart Simpson. Ha 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 ha. Isn't it funny? NASA did that. That's why it turned out. That's why it stopped after the first question.
Yeah, because what do you think Chris Christie actually knows about anything? I mean, he's not like in the fold of the government and all the secret agencies and stuff. He isn't going to know. And if he comes out and he says anything, you know, he's going to look like a laughing stock, and everybody else is just going to, all the other candidates are going to say, oh, yeah, look what Christie said, you know.
He's going to seem like a crazy person. You're 100% right. That's exactly the fear of all of them, is to sound like, is to lose credibility, is to be considered a joke, not to be taken seriously. So didn't you say DeSantis, who is backed by, did that for a reason? The reason why, well, think about what, right now, DeSantis just called a state of emergency for 50% of Florida because of these massive storms coming their way, right? He's done things that are politically unsavory. He's implemented policies that hurt his entire state, the economy itself. He's attacking one of their biggest economic drivers in the whole state. That would be Disney, a massive economic driver to the state over ridiculous issues that there's not a lot of people that care about that issue, guys. It just isn't. Now, again, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant. What's politically advantageous, that's not it. DeSantis can't afford, after listening to Chris Christie make a joke out of it, to then follow up with something to make himself look like a fool. He cannot afford that. He cannot. Remember when they asked who would support Trump if Trump was put in prison? Do you guys remember that? What did DeSantis do? Look around like a kid in high school, wait for somebody to, and then when everybody else raised his hand, he reluctantly raised his hand. Yes, he can't afford it. Let's be realistic here. Let's not go full retard on this one. Let's be realistic here. The reason why DeSantis didn't answer was because he saw how he was treated, how Chris Christie was treated. He saw how he handled the question, and he cannot afford after Trump's wiping his Donald Trump is treating Ron DeSantis like a piece of wet toilet paper. You understand? and Donald Trump's is got diarrhea in prison.
Yeah, if you're the front runner, like say Donald, you know, he's heading in the polls. Okay, he's got such a big lead that, you know, he could almost say anything, get away with it. But if you're DeSantis and all those other ones that are lagging way behind, you don't want to be the first one to come out. Yeah. Then something horribly go wrong. You know, if nobody's going to get behind you, you're not going to make a statement that's going to hurt your campaign.
It's a cluster freak, if you will. To be honest, I mean, it's honestly just just a mess, man. I mean, honestly, you know, for me, I just feel like we're all holding on, waiting to see how everything turns out. I personally am just holding on, waiting to see how everything turns out. I don't know how I know one thing, that the phenomena is going to exist whether we want it to or not, whether we believe it or not. And I think that it's going to reveal itself more and more very, very soon, very shortly. Mark my words. But the problem is, guys, because of how ridiculous people are treating this topic, including people in the UFO community, It'll be too, by the time we figure out what's going on, by the time the phenomena reveals itself in an undeniable way, it will be too late for humanity. I guarantee it. It'll be too late. Now, I hope it doesn't mean that we're all gonna die. I don't want that to be the case, right? The cataclysm, a massive, solar storm. I know that whatever it is, whatever the reveal will be, whenever the reveal will be, it'll be too late. We're not going to be able to take part in it. Whether it be that the phenomena then takes over the world, infiltrates the society, whether we get destroyed by a cataclysm, whatever it is, we will not be taking part at all in what happens next. So
yeah, I don't know what it's going to take. Are we going to have, just like in Independence Day, we're going to have motherships hover over every major city in the world to become a true disclosure, or what?
I want you to, I got to say that Platonic Zombie, you just said something that I want to point out that's really important. I have a feeling, and I'm only saying this because I want to give you guys a forewarning. I told you this before. Platonic Zombie said something that I recognized a long time ago. Recently I've been realizing it more and more, and it's kind of terrifying. I think you're wrong. This is what Platonic Zombie says. Listen carefully, everybody. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this. I think you're wrong. You'd get way more support if you told the public you want the truth. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. What he's really saying, and this is exactly what you're saying, Platonic Zombie, is I'd get way more support if I believed in your truth. That's what you're saying to me. The thing that people have told me, I've been literally attacked online because the truth that I know isn't the truth that people want to know. They don't want to know. They want to know. They want fairy tales, and they want happy stories about Bigfoot hanging out in their backyard and drinking coffee with them. They want to hear that the aliens came down and let you drive their spaceship. They don't want to hear about the other things that are happening as well. And so, to Platonic Zombie's point, I honestly don't believe that I'm ever going to get anywhere successfully in this field, because I actually push for the truth, and people don't want the truth. They want fairy tales. They want their truth. You're right, Platonic Zombie. I will not get the kind of support that I could get if I pulled a Stephen Greer and told everybody that light beings are going to come and save them and that all extraterrestrials are their friends. I will never get the full support that I would get if I said that, hey, I contacted a Zeta Reticuline and the Zeta Reticuline said that they're here to push us to another level of evolution. I will never get the support as I would if I said that I meditated in the Himalayan mountains and spoke to a Himalayan salt speaker soothsayer and they came to help me with with my evolutionary freaking super matrix soul thing. I'm not going to get that kind of support because I want the real truth. I don't want fairy tales. So to your point, I say you are 100% right. I will never get the kind of truth or the kind of support that any of you guys are claiming, because I'm not gonna push the fake truth. I'm not gonna play the whole, hey guys, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna tell you about all the fairy tales that you want to believe. I'm not gonna do that. And with that I say, people who believe that, you don't deserve the truth. You do not deserve it, 100%. I'm just gonna stand my ground, because at this point, when the fact that I had to delete comments on my Twitter, comments on my YouTube, comments on my I've had to delete comments in the chat, by the way. You guys don't see them because I deleted. I blocked a couple people because I've been literally attacked. My children have been used as a way to attack me because I don't say that they're here to save us from ourselves. I'm not gonna get. I don't even want that anymore. I'm doing this just so you guys understand, up until the day that I can anymore, because of finances, of course. And when that day comes, I will probably be leaving the ufology. I think that I can see why a lot of people have left. I can see why a lot of people have left ufology. A lot of people. I've watched it since I started doing this thing, Midwest Night Watcher. I've watched 5 ufologists leave ufology. As soon as they started recognizing through their research that there's something that's not good about the phenomena as well as the good stuff, like there's something else going on, they lost support and were attacked on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. They were attacked privately. They were threatened and doxxed. That's when they realized that, hey man, these people don't want truth. They want fairy tales. And not only that, they're willing to hurt someone. They're willing to hurt you if you don't believe in their truth. So I can tell you right now, I'm not afraid of it, but I will say that I know that I'm not going to get the support that I was hoping that, you know, people wanted to hear the news and they wanted to hear the truth about this. They wanted an analytical perspective. I was wrong. People want you to tickle their ears and their, you know, their egos, and they would prefer not to be told anything that makes them feel uncomfortable. And the fact is, the phenomena, it's an uncomfortable truth. It is an uncomfortable truth. You'll have to see for yourself.
Yeah, I think you got to kind of stay neutral, you know, whether you believe that all of them are bad or all of them are good. I mean, me personally, I think there's good and there's bad in every species, whether it's humans or aliens or whatever, you know. But you have to kind of thread that needle once in a while and not really come out and say, you know, what you actually really think, you know, like if they're all bad or whatever. I think that's where a lot of people got into trouble.
Yeah, you notice how there is a truth that I was told about by some people, and they said, you know, listen, man, there's people that don't even want to come forward because they see what's happening to people. Actually, there are people that saw what happened to me, and they're like, they told me, I told you, man, I told you that it's going to happen. You're going to be attacked. You're going to be verbally attacked and assaulted. You may be doxxed, as I was told. I luckily, thank God, I haven't been doxxed yet. Not today. I mean, whatever. But because I have children, you know, it's a pretty big deal. But when you mention anything at all that resembles like what the phenomena does in a negative way, people will attack you for that. They will attack you. Unfortunately, it's just another aspect of the phenomena that people are they don't want to hear. And when it comes to being analytical, when you reference researchers from the past that have said the same thing, and by the way have left ufology for the same reasons, I recognize that there's a lot of the higher end people, like Richard Dolan is intelligent. He does it in a very smart way. He doesn't say they're good or bad. He just says that they're not all good. And same thing with Elizondo. He didn't say that they're all here to kill us. He doesn't say that. He said that we just don't understand what's happening. There's a lot to talk about. Jim Semivan said that most of his friends, by the way, who are not involved in these classified programs, keep in mind, Jim Semivan was involved in those classified programs. He knows the truth about the phenomena. And even he said, I can't, like, all of my friends thinking this Stephen Greer, this isn't his exact words, but they believe in the positivity of the phenomena. They think he's wrong. They don't agree with him on the phenomena. He's in the program. Who cares what some rando thinks that does not involve with it? Like, if somebody said, hey, what do you know? And I said, I don't know. I had an experience. That's all I know. Who cares what I think? Oh, I meditated and a gray came to me and told me that they're here to save me. Who cares what I have to say? But if I'm in a classified program and I break free from that and I tell everybody the truth, why would we deny? Because it doesn't jive with the soothsayer that wrote a book about meditating to contact alien beings. I'm honestly over it at this point.
Well, it's been like that all throughout history. You know what? Just take all the religious organizations. You know, you have all these break-offs, one after another, from the Roman Catholic Church or whatever organization you want to see because of man-made rules. You know, I don't agree with what they say, so I'm going to make my own over here. So it's just like that in the Bigfoot, Dogman, UFO. I mean, in the communities, you know, if you don't agree with somebody, then you kind of separate and you have your own little camp where you have people follow and believe, you know, this kind of the same way.
Yeah. I've really been thinking about. I'm done with it. I'm so over this. I'm not over the topic myself, but like, I'm over trying to help people see things. I don't want to do that. I honestly do not want to do it anymore. I've lost my desire to. I don't want to stop streaming or anything like that, but in terms of UFOs and talking about the topic, I don't even. I'll let people believe in whatever fairy tale they want to believe in because it's better. It's better for me. It's better for my life. It's much better for my life and my family's life if I just like let people believe in their fairy tales and not put myself through that.
Well, I think everybody's misconception, you know, is like it's a Disney movie or a Marvel movie, you know, where.
Yeah, like the War of the Worlds, they're gonna come down here and blow us all up, and that's what, like, they can't. again, this is what analysis is, right? You say, for example, that there's a threat, right? Bees are a threat. If you have a bee hive in your house, it's a threat. Nobody says, now we have to go kill all bees in the whole world, because bees, if they're in your house, they'll get you. They can kill you too if there's enough of them. Like, nobody says that. That's stupid to say that, because bees are essential to the, like, I don't know, they're like essential to like life on this planet. So no one would say that, but for some reason, if you say that UFOs are a potential threat, they're like, oh my gosh, you think they can't separate War of the Worlds, the Independence Day. They don't know how to make sense of that. They're completely lost as to how to make sense of that. So, you know, I don't know. I can't. I've honestly, there were some times where I'm like left dumbfounded, where I'm like, I can't believe some of the things that I've heard, that the community believes. I don't think that. Yeah, another thing is, like, I put a lot of work into these shows, man. Like, I put a lot of work into this. Why would I put a lot of work into this for people that literally do not appreciate what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do for them? This is for other people. If I wanted to do something for me, it wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be this. Although I enjoy having the conversation, I could talk about many other things. But I do this because I believe that it, like, I believe in that it's essential. But yeah, I think that I really do believe that I'm gonna be leaving this topic behind very soon.
Well, you know, you can branch out. I mean, just like on our shows, you know, we talk about the supernatural. We talk about Dogman. We talk about Mothman and all that. You know, whoever the host is, you know, their guests, our special guests, you know, we'll go along with whatever subject they're involved in, and maybe that's what you need to do. Not necessarily have guests or anything, but, you know, whatever the subject of the day is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was given some advice on how to do some content change. I'm actually going to be doing something different relatively soon, the coming months. And when I do, since this is probably not, you know, gonna work, I'm gonna change pretty much how I produce content. It's gonna be very, very different. I'm probably gonna have to change my audience. Not you guys. I love you guys, but I mean, you know, like, I'm gonna have to cater the content to a different audience, because I need support. I really do need support, and I think that. And I think in terms of branching out, I think that in order to expand my audience, I think you're right. I think I need to touch on different topics. I think the UFO field is just not going to work out. There's too much craziness in it. There's a lot of religiosity in the field. There's a lot of blind faith and in the phenomena, in the different ideologies in the phenomena, and it's actually quite. It'd be like being a pastor who follows the Bible in conservative Christian circles, where they're telling people that Jesus is too liberal for them. It's like, wait a minute. But, like, the Bible says to love your neighbor. That's a liberal talking point. That's what's happening in churches around America. You know that, right? Like, this is crazy. Like, it feels like that. Like, I feel like I'm becoming to the UFO community a charlatan, because they think it's like their God has been attacked. That's what it sounds like. Their God, UFOs and aliens, their God is being attacked. Their religion. That's what it feels like.
Well, I mean, you can still continue that subject, like you said, you know, but just kind of branch out every once in a while on different shows. And if something news breaks, you know, about whether it's a congressional hearing or an event that happened, you know, that people are talking about, then talk about it.
No, I'll do it on somebody else's show, but I'm not going to do that to my. So here's what I mean. Like, in terms of content, like, you know how I started the show off with a story. I think more storytelling. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to target a different audience for that. I'm going to target more of that kind of thing. That way I don't have to like there's no point in using my intelligence on this subject when people don't want intelligence, they want entertainment. And so I honestly realize that's not a bad thing, by the way. It's just I think that for me it was just a bad strategy. I thought my in the Twitch channel, my description or whatever, bio, tagline, whatever, says that I want to bring analytical thinking to the topic. That was probably the dumbest thing I could have possibly ever done. Nobody wants analytical thinking on this topic. They want to hear the story. They want to hear about abductions. They want to hear about, they want to hear about like people's encounters, and like those are things that we could talk about. Like I could talk about that stuff. They don't want to be told like what the general analysis and the science is behind the phenomena, the psychology behind this. They don't want to know about that stuff. They want to know about like what did they tell what did they tell Terry Lovelace about the spirituality of it all? What did they want to hear that kind of stuff? They want to hear about like what did the CE6 people say that they're channeling, and what were they told during the channeling? That's what people want to hear. That's what they want to hear. They do not want to hear the overall actual intelligent analysis of this. That's kind of I think that's a detractor, to be honest, from the topic. And I was told that, by the way, Midwest Night Watcher, I was told that that's what people want. And that my approach is gonna, not only is it gonna fail, but it's gonna backfire. I'm gonna be assaulted by these people. I just didn't believe it. I thought that it'd be different.
Yeah, I know it's a tough decision. I mean, nobody really knows if their platform or whatever their thing is going to work or not, until you start getting people out there in front of you, and they'll pretty much tell you. But I think you got a good following with what you're got going on now.
Well, I mean, everybody here follows me. I mean, everybody's been awesome to me here. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying like my audience hates me, because I think that my audience is very supportive of me. They have always been supportive of me since I first started. What I'm saying is that there is a pretty strong resistance from people. I mean, even like SOR, like there are people. Somebody came on my chat on my Facebook, went on my Facebook the other day. I can't remember. I don't want to say who it was, but this person came on my Facebook and was like telling me, oh my god, the crazy things they were saying, and then I don't know, it was just crazy stuff, and I responded with was pure sarcasm, and they didn't even get the obvious blatant sarcasm of what I think is the hypocrisy. I just feel like I think that my mind is better served elsewhere in a different way. That's what I think. I think it's just better. My efforts and my intelligence is better served somewhere else. On something else, on something else. I really don't. I've honestly, and again, I never thought SOR, whatever SOR is going to be, I'm going to stick with SOR for as long as I can and do that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my content outside of SOR. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm just so out of. I can't do ufology anymore. I can't do it for myself. I'll learn for myself, but I can't share it with people. I don't want to share it with people anymore.
Well, that's too bad. I really enjoy this platform.
I appreciate that. I really do, and honestly, I appreciate everybody that's been supportive of me. I really do. It's meant a lot to me. But there's a lot that I have a lot riding on my succeeding in one way or another, first of all, in whatever I do, and also again, it's about mental health, and this life is short. I could be gone tomorrow. Do I really want to spend it, on deaf ears, like putting forth so much effort for my words to fall on deaf ears, as they say?
Well, I guess you got to decide what your passion is, or why are you doing this?
I'm doing it because I believe it's the right thing to do, but I don't think so anymore. I think the right thing to do is to let people believe what they want. I don't think that educating people is actually a good idea. This is going to sound crazy. I don't believe that educating people is a good idea. I think it's a bad idea. I think that it's a terrible idea. I think entertaining them is a much better idea. And then through that entertainment, maybe subconsciously, maybe a part of them will pick up on something. But educating them is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. They do not want to be educated because people feel like you're imposing your belief on them, versus presenting what you believe to be as data and information and facts. They think it's all conjecture and conspiracy. I made a video about that, actually. That it's like people are like,
nice talking to you.
you know, and listen, I just want to be clear. I have my skepticisms as well about a lot of things, okay? The fact that in Hawaii there was a lot of negligence, at the very least, to what they didn't even warn people about the mother freaking. What are you talking about? What? How could you do that, right? There's a lot of questions that I have too. A lot of questions. But Chinese space lasers, like, they'll do that, right? But like, they won't look at data that is like laid out to them. Like, imagine someone giving you breadcrumbs that lead to a very specific location, and you're like, I don't trust it. And it's what you're looking, and the location leads to what you're looking for, right? You're like, I still don't trust it. And you touch it, it's like, this is, you're like, it's fake. And then something leads you somewhere way off, like way left field. And by the way, you have to like guess your way to that left field destination, and you land there, and you're like, this is where the truth is. That's literally how I feel like this topic. It's like people are going off on these weird, really, really strange directions.
That'll do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we talked about before, you just got to discern about everything that you look at or read, and everybody else has to put that piece of puzzle together to try to get the whole picture, and that's what's so hard about this whole thing. Everybody has their own opinions, everybody has their own data, and they got to try to sort through it and figure it out, and somehow you got to come up with your own opinion, your own discernment, and figure out what it means to you.
100%. And you can't. I don't believe that trying to. I do like challenging people's ideas and having healthy debates about it. But I just think that as much as I like that, that's like my favorite thing to do. It has a very negative effect. I mean, it's a very dangerous and negative effect. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's going to be more. I'm going to be changing the content to more storytelling, more about different stories about things that happened over history and in the past, stories that people have told about their strange encounters and strange experiences. That's what I'm gonna focus more on. I think that would be more successful. I think that would be healthier for the chat. It would be healthier for my conversation. For myself versus the crazy stuff that I've gotten that I've had to delete in my YouTube comments.
Arid plains at night, flames billowing high.
And Twitter, like crazy
I see
stuff.
Garyoki made it.
What's up, Garyoki? Keeping it 100, my guy. Always keeping it 100. Momska's in the chat too. Yeah, I was talking to the unicorn about the documentary, and I was like, I just decided myself, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't want to share my story anymore. I don't want to talk about it at all, guys. Seriously, I'm so over alien abductions and ufology in general. I'm not over it for myself. I'm just over having I'm over talking about it. I don't think it's just not worth it. But I will say that, so I'm not going to do the documentary. Long story short, I'm not doing the documentary. I'm not doing it. That's what I decide for myself, period. I'll do something else. I'm doing something very different. I got half an hour, Garyoki. I'll send you a link right now. Give me 1 second. Garyoki wants to join the chat.
All right.
Let's get this party started.
Oh, you got Armenian too.
Cool. All right. Jump on in, gentlemen. Yeah, well, they'll be here in just a second here. So, freaking lost my voice. Listen, I lost my voice twice over the last month. putting in the effort that I put in for this stuff, and I did it for I did it for other people. Like I do this for other people. I mean, again, I enjoy it, but like, trust me when I tell you, like it is. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that I don't just like come here and talk for a couple hours. I spend every waking hour. The one thing that my family says is I always have headphones on, because I'm either listening to something, or I'm looking at an article, or I'm responding to people's comments, or I'm trying to respond to a message that I didn't respond to for 2 days, and I don't want people to feel like I'm ignoring them. And there's like freaking, I almost cursed. Oh my gosh. There's like, the amount of messages I get, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming, and I have to prioritize, like, okay, I gotta respond to people. I don't want them to feel like I'm neglecting them, but I can't have 50 different conversations going on. But I'm trying to do that while I'm watching a documentary, or listening to an interview, or listening to an audiobook, or reading an article, or talking to my fiance about, like, we're doing all this stuff. I'm doing all, and I'm trying to maintain all of it so that I can come in here and have so much to talk about in an intelligent and informed way, only for somebody in the comment section to tell me that I'm a negative person who, no, you mother freaker. I spent the last 25 hours researching a topic so that I can give you the correct information, and you just don't accept it.
Can I just give you my own advice? I know you're like in a very down kind of state of mind.
Only today. I am
today,
very
right? I just want to say today.
Yeah.
Like, please. There's always going to be detractors. There's always going to be people that talk negatively about what you do. But you got to realize this is one of the only UFO programs that I am personally interested in. I don't know about anybody else, but I love what you do for the simple fact that the data that you present, the data that you bring to the table is a lot different than what a lot of other shows that I watch do. And the fact that you're so focused on the UFO part of it, with concise, logical, data-driven points is very, very important. And I think it would be a tremendous loss, not only to the topic of UFOs itself, but it would be a tremendous loss to people just getting solid data about any part of this topic. And I just want to say that, like, you do your homework and you present it in a very coherent way that a lot of people don't. You don't go like down the deep, dark rabbit holes of just pure, what I consider nonsense sometimes, because I'm also personally, I'm data driven, I'm facts driven, and things like that. And there are a lot of people in the UFO community that are just like that take it to levels where my mind can't even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I cannot follow. But you bring it in a way that it's very easy to understand, and you do it in layman's terms. And by the way, you have a great voice. I don't know what, I mean, that's a gift. You have a great tonal voice when you speak that people pay attention to. And I think that's a huge part of, maybe it's part of your voice act, maybe that's why you got into it, I don't know. But I just want to say that don't let those down days influence you. I think you're doing this community a great service, and don't ever be down on yourself, regardless of whatever your choice may be tomorrow or the next month. I'm just saying you have a lot of supporters, and people really do appreciate you. So don't ever be down on yourself. There's always going to be idiots, excuse my language, that are going to be detractors. And that's why a lot of people that, when they post stuff, not just your show, but online, they don't go down to the comment section.
I try not to. I honestly, so just so you understand, like, the one thing that I love about what I do here is when I know this may sound contradictory, but like, I appreciate that you guys give me pushback and tell me where you think I'm wrong, because I'm trying to address that part of my argument, the part that people are resistant to. I want to have those kind of engagements where people tell me, well, I don't think that's true because I believe this, right? And I want them to say, no, that can't be, and I want them to strongly disagree, because that's where we find truth. That's where we get to real intelligent conversations and really dig into the analytical aspect of these types of topics. The problem is that I feel like I'm not doing a great job, because even though you say that it's in a coherent and down to earth way, so to speak, I feel like my lady tells me all the time, like, sometimes I talk in a way that people do not understand. You know, like I understand that I'm a little different. My intellect. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I do recognize that I'm a little different intellectually than most people. I speak differently. I think that I think everybody's intelligent. I think that I just speak intelligently, and a lot of people don't have that ability to be able to coherently present an idea and in a way that is received well. So
yes, and for those reasons alone that you just described, you shouldn't stop what you're doing.
I will take that into consideration while I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to make any rash decisions, but I've been offered some things. I'm always offered something, and I just have to think about it. Like, man, I mean, it's not about money either, because I'm not offered money. I'm offered opportunity. But like, yeah, it's just like what is right? Am I really doing a good thing? Well, like, am I doing more good than harm? Because when you present these ideas to people, there are two things that can happen. You can push them further into their ideologies, or you can bring them out of them and make them more skeptical and more critical of their thinking. I feel like I'm pushing them further into their ideologies versus...
My friend, some of the greatest people in history have had the same problem. Magellan, Galileo, people that had, the right idea. Other people wouldn't listen, but they ended up being right at the end. I'm not saying that that's your job to, have other people say that you're right at the end by any means. I think you have a noble cause in what you're doing. I think you genuinely care about humanity in relation to how this topic is perceived. And that's a great thing. That's showing humanity. That's showing love for your fellow human beings. And if they reject those ideas, that's on them. But the best that you can do is have your voice be heard the way it is meant to be heard.
I don't have the money to pay you for your therapy session, but I appreciate these words, man. I feel like I kind of needed to hear. I did need to hear that, to be honest with you.
I mean, in all aspects, Marquise, you really haven't been broadcasting that long, so you have to really give it a chance for your audience to grow and have the like minds, to find you, whether it's our friends or we share you out or whatever. I mean, the audience is going to come. And even like Barnum Bailey says, even bad publicity is
good,
just as good as good publicity.
Yeah, that's actually, any publicity is good publicity, right? Anything.
Yep.
It's just attention. Some people literally do it for the...
Even if you do have haters show up, so what? They're still logging into your stream and giving you views.
That's true. 100%. I already, my mood has completely changed, honestly, because I feel like, well, I don't know the impact I have on people if they don't tell me, but I kind of assume that it's somewhat good at least. I just don't know how. I don't know what that means. And hearing you guys say that, it gives me a more clear understanding of what I'm doing means to you.
Just in the short time that I've been here, I don't know if you look at your analytics, but I see like way more people paying attention than when I first got on here. I don't know, maybe that was just the timing. I haven't been here that long, but when I look on both streams and I see people like reacting more than before, that just means that more people are involved in the conversation. So personally, I mean, I don't see your analytics data, but if you were to look at it, I'm pretty sure it would show an increase of volume in participants.
I mean, I do see, so my analytics do show that I'm growing somehow, literally daily. I don't know how that's even possible. But I'm such a small, I feel like I'm such a, well, I mean, so to that point, yes. I guess maybe I'm not thinking in the bigger picture here on this one. Maybe I am kind of looking at there's just so many of them. There's more than I expected. Maybe I'm on Twitter too much. Maybe I'm looking at the negative too much, thinking that, oh crap, like there is definitely a much greater weight to the positive for sure than the negative.
Right. Yeah. And if again, like, you might be looking at your base in analytics as pure numbers, but if you look at it in terms of percentage gain, I'm pretty sure your percentage gain is going up a lot higher than, it could be 2-3 people this week. It could be, another 3-4 people next week. And it might not mean that much as far as those numbers, but if you look at it in terms of ratio and percentage increase, you're doing great. I'm telling you.
I appreciate, again, I appreciate hearing that. I feel like I have to think about this completely differently.
It's just like everybody else's show. It's just like my show. I mean, I think I'm not doing very good, but every day I'm growing a little bit at a time, or every week. And then you always have those lurkers that don't catch your live show, but then you have like 200 views on your YouTube or something, you know, or 500, you know, it just keeps growing.
Yeah, you mentioned about my intention, right? My intention is a genuine concern, care for humanity. I hope I'm wrong about everything that I think about this whole thing. I really do. But even if I'm wrong about it, there's still something else to be said. There's just another aspect to talk about, and even in my opinion, there's an opportunity there to change directions and to talk about this in a different way if I'm wrong. So either way, I still have the same intention and the same goal, and that is to raise the consciousness of whoever I can.
So what's going on with Gary? He can't get on?
He's saying he can't get on. I don't know what's going on, but all you gotta do, Garyoki, just click on the link. I don't know what's going on because you've done it plenty of times before. Something must be wrong. You had issues too, though. Midwest Night Watcher.
I did at the beginning. The link wouldn't work.
Yes.
And he is on his laptop instead of his phone now, so it's probably a whole new setup.
I sent it to your email to make it work, so I don't know if maybe. Let me see. Let me try to send it to him in a DM, in a direct message. Let's see. The last time he said anything. There we go. All right. I think I sent it. Yeah, I sent you a direct message in Discord, Garyoki.
So I think we all agree, Marquise, it's this platform is in too early of a stage to give up on.
I'm not going to give up entirely. It's just
No,
I wasn't
we know.
thinking it. Yeah, it was just the topics, and how I don't know. I mean, maybe again, I enjoy especially the conversations and the debates. Those are like they enliven me. They enrich my life. They make me sharp.
Same. Yeah. I mean, the show does make me sharper, and I get a lot of great information that I would otherwise not have access to. And so many people participate in their own way, whether it's through chat, whether it's through the roundtable that we do, that we've been holding. And I appreciate that. I don't know, it helps me grow as a human being. So I really appreciate what you're doing. Sincerely, I'm telling you this.
I don't think you're just blowing smoke. I think I believe you. I gotta change my my perspective and think about this in a different way, maybe, because like I said, it's difficult. I think you can hear me. I'm expressing how I feel about these things. I'm not just I'm not just being a Debbie Downer. I think maybe in my trust me when I tell you guys, if I were to just give up, my lady would destroy me.
And rightly so.
She'd literally have me here. She would staple my dreads to the back of this wall and make me sit here. Dude, I'm not kidding. She is not playing. She's not playing when it comes to this stuff. She's very supportive, forcefully so.
That is great, and having that kind of support, especially in your immediate environment, is such a huge gift that a lot of people don't have. And I would urge you to take advantage of that. If you have support like that, within your own family, forget us out here. I mean, we're a second family. I get that, but
yeah, man.
Sure. I'm talking about your immediate family. If you have that kind of support coming from them, that is a rare and beautiful thing to have in life. So just think about that as well when you come up with what decision you're going to do as far as what you're going to do with this.
I mean, I think you should stick with this same platform that you got going, but if you want to branch out, maybe have a wild card Wednesday. Just pick one day and talk about whatever else interests you besides UFOs.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to diversify the topics. I don't want to be so hyper focused on one topic that I lose potentially more people. And again, I'm a storyteller. At the crux of who I am a storyteller. That's what I mostly enjoy. the UFO thing is for other people. Like I do that for other people, and of course it's intellectually stimulating for me. But like, I am a storyteller. That's what that's who I am. That's the crux of who I am. That's what I've studied. It's what I put a lot of focus. Huh? Oh, Garyoki, what's up, man?
You can hear me. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Look at Garyoki.
What's up, my guy?
I'll tell you what's up. I killed my phone today. I've been going mad.
Oh, man.
So I've had to get my steam-powered laptop out. And I've tried. That's why I was saying to you, send me the link. I couldn't get on because Discord's on my phone and everything, you know. So I literally went on Google, found Discord, logged into it, and luckily your Discord thing was still there. So I've just gone through all the Zoom stuff and everything, and here I am. So if the camera's a bit 1990s style, that's why I'm on my laptop.
Mine is too.
So anyway, listen, Mr. Williams, I've been listening to you talk all your woes, all your blues. You got the blues, ain't you?
Somewhat. I'm a pretty optimistic and resilient dude, but yeah, I got a little bit of a downer today.
Listen, I've been sitting here listening to you talk for the past hour, and I wish I was there because I'd take you down the pub. We need a beer. You don't need to change nothing. We've told you that every night for the past month or so. What the Armenian was just saying was absolutely correct as well.
I'm holding on. It's you got to understand. Keep in mind, guys. Like the people like me do this knowing that we're gonna receive. You have to know it. You know you're gonna receive backlash. You know you're gonna receive, some hate mail and stuff like that. That's not my concern. It's more along the lines of like when I have an impact that is the exact opposite of what my intention is, and especially towards the community that I'm trying to build, that I've built. Now here is I can't leave SOR. SOR is like it's like my beginnings are at SOR. I don't want to leave SOR, but that's where a lot of the people are that I had receive a lot of negative attention. I'm talking like scarily so sometimes.
Yeah, but everyone does on every channel. Everyone gets like bad press and all of that. It's what do they call them? When people say you need to have a few drinks to have like Dutch courage or whatever. I don't know what you call it over there in the States. This is like keyboard courage, isn't it?
Liquid courage, they call it here.
Yeah, liquid courage. This is like keyboard courage. They'll never meet you. They'll never have the bollocks to say it to your face or anything.
Well, that's why I'm not afraid. That's why I'm not afraid, but it is hurtful. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm saying no matter what group you're in, whatever, it's so easy for people to show negativity and attack you, whatever, just by typing. They wouldn't ever do it to your face, sort of thing. And that's not just you; that's everyone, I think.
Well, I mean, remember the first time? I don't know if you guys were here, but in the Discord chat, don't say the person's name, please. But somebody, I don't know what they were talking about.
Well,
like, you remember? Like, what happened? Somebody just hit me up in Discord.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I
know exactly what you're talking about. And
I don't even know.
But can I tell? I mean, forget that. Honestly, I have feelings about that person from the minute that person started talking. I'm not trying to say anything, but you could kind of tell. Look at like if you, if going by the words, if you kind of got a view of their mental scape, so to speak, that person was not very all there. I just want to say.
Well, keep in mind
they were pretty negative in their general outlook about a lot of different things that a lot of your core people that were in there were also saying. It seemed like they wanted to stir a little shit up. And I'm sorry, but that person left because they kind of realized that it wasn't going to happen. Like, people were not having it. So don't go by people like that. Look at the numbers, look at the volume that you have that support.
Yeah, you know what? You ever wonder what happened to drunk physics?
I've seen him here and there.
Well, there's a story behind that. Not that I'm going to tell it, but I mean, I get it. Those things I can accept. It's just that's not like I'm using that as an example of the kinds of things that I experience. But now it's like a little bit more. Yeah, I think. But I think I think you guys have given me again. I'm glad that I even said something. I wasn't going to say anything on stream. It just kind of hit me. I don't know, but I appreciate hearing from you guys because I am thinking like, yeah, it is just my beginnings right now, and
well,
really,
listen, Marquise, let me give you a good old-fashioned bit of British advice. what we say over here, and I'm going to drop the F-bomb now, is fuck them. Fuck them all.
It sounds like Ross Coulthard.
well, he's my colonial brother, yeah.
Nice. Colonial brother.
That's awesome. Dude. Oh my
so,
gosh.
but no, that's the attitude you got to have. It's like to laugh at these people. It's, you know, because we all log in every night and listen to your thoughts and your opinions and everything. So if anyone wants to say like, oh, I don't like, you know, you wearing the same bandana again, whatever, you're bollocks to them. That's what I say. You've got your following. That's it.
I agree.
Enjoy what you do. Everyone else, sling Europe, you know.
Sling Europe. Kick rocks.
Well, yeah, that's
kick rocks.
You know.
I'm with you guys.
That's what I do. Just be. I mean, you know your truth. You know you're right. What's in your head, believe in it, and don't let anyone change your mind or your opinion. You know.
Exactly. Very well said.
I'm listening to you guys, man. Seriously, I'm listening to you because if I listen to myself, I would look at the small stuff.
Well, you know what? Have a conversation in your head with that negative voice and tell it to shut the F up.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to.
Yeah.
I you know, the funny thing about myself in general is I tend to be an overachiever about certain things, not everything. We all have our, you know, caveats. And if I ever feel like I'm not doing well at something, I just try harder. I put in a lot of work, a lot of hours. The difference between that in like a job or anything like that is that you're talking about influencing people. You're not like doing something. I can create the best content. I could do better videos. I could have a better script for like when I do storytelling and do those little videos that I do. I could always do better there. But when you're doing that and the impact is again the contrary to your intention, it's like, am I actually doing more harm? That's what gets me, you know. Am I doing more harm than good to this community? Should I even be targeting this community?
You're overthinking it too much.
I know, but that's
I have where you're punishing yourself.
I think it's always great to be able to look at your content and you know, if you're looking at it from a technical point of view, yeah, you can always say, I can always do this part of it better, that part of it better. Those are not bad things to do. I mean, you know, if there are parts that, you know, of the podcast that seem like, oh, you know, I can improve on this, so let me do it. But in a technical way, yeah, of course, you should work on those. Those are not bad things to do. But if you're having any kind of doubts as far as your own personal messaging, then I don't know, man. I think go with what you got. You got very convincing theories and ideas, and I love, you know, I push back on them because, you know.
Well, I want you to, by the way.
Right.
That's what I expect from you.
Right, and I gather data as well, and you know, I have my points to make, and I have never so far said, well, this guy's full of BS. Never, not once. And the reason for that is you're like I said, you're very data driven, and your logic actually makes sense. Does that mean I'm always going to agree with you? No, and you know, I'm going to put my own POV out there, but I always respect with the content that you come in here with. I just want to make that clear.
I hope that my unicorn is not watching, because if she is, I'm gonna get so much shit today because of you guys. Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, since I've been watching you from day one, and even watching you on other shows before you started your own platform. I mean, look how much you've grown in this short period of time.
Yeah, that's
look
actually
at all
a big-
your
yeah.
friends that come every day or every week to your show, and just to be with you and talk with you and share their stuff with you. Whether like I said before, you don't have to agree on everything, but you're all still friends, and we all love you to death. That's why we show up.
Yeah.
All right, she's in the chat right now. Oh, shit, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Well, let again.
Is that your unicorn?
That's the unicorn. Yeah, Stratus is the unicorn. That's who's Stratus.
Okay.
Hello, Stratus.
Hello, unicorn.
Yeah, she's freaking. I don't even understand that woman. I don't get her. I've never met a person like her in my life. Not anybody, man or I've never met anybody like her. She never stops. She seems to always have the same freaking attitude, like a very upbeat, happy. Like, why are you happy about having to do all this stuff, and then at the very end of the day, you still retain the same? I don't know if she's crazy. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I really don't get it. She's also quite scary though, when she needs to be. Whereas I am like the docile, like, I'm all calm and docile, and when anybody
you sound like a yes man. You sound like. Are you a yes man, Marquise?
I am a yes man, 100%.
Whatever she says, you say yes, dear. Yes,
no,
sir.
not that. It's more like the kids. The kids are the ones I say yes to. Her, I say no to. She has to
Really?
fight with me about getting me to do anything. Of course, I'm afraid to fight. There's this video on TikTok where this dude's like, what, because I have 3 stepsons, and I showed them the other day. It's like this dude, he's sitting there yelling at his wife, right? And he's like putting his hand, he's yelling at her, and he walks away and grabs his cup. And he's terrified because he's shaking and he's spilling water the whole time. And the son is like, yeah, he's like, no, stop, because we might not make it past the front door right now. That's what it's like with her. Where I might sit up to her sometimes, but usually we all get quiet when she gets mad, like the whole house, because she's just maintains everything, and she wants to. She doesn't even give you a chance to maintain it. She has OCD, so like she's got a chart for food and snacks, and like every day is planned out for what the kids are gonna eat and how they're gonna eat it. She does all the laundry. She won't even let me do the dishes because I don't do it right. I don't even, and again, by the end of the day, she's the same as she was when she first woke up, and it just never changes with this woman. I don't even understand. I don't get it.
Count your lucky stars, my man.
Yeah, this isn't I'm just saying, like, she's stop calling me out, please. Would you get out of the chat? I am
since we've determined that you're a yes man, I want to hear a yes out of you. You're going to continue down this road on this platform.
After this conversation, yeah, I am I'm definitely, I appreciate this. Honestly, I feel like I needed to hear from you guys, because if it was just me thinking in my head, looking at the data, I would be in a different place right now.
At the end of the day, Marquise, you do a good job. You just don't realise that. Dave Scott chose you to go on SOR, where we all found you. We thought you was that good. We're here now. I don't want nothing more from you than what you're doing now. You just don't believe or understand that you've got the knack for this. You are good at it. So
100%. I agree with that.
I'm obsessed. It's an obsession. It is an obsession. And honestly, for me, it's a happy obsession. It makes me feel good after the show to know that this is a thing that I put my energy into today. This is what I've put my mind to. I've done something. When you do that thing that you believe in, and you get a chance to put everything into it, keep it, again, 22 hours out of the day, I sleep listening to audio books. Do you understand? Like, 22 hours out of the day, I'm preparing for this show. So to be able to put that 22 hours of effort, or 20 hours, sometimes even 19 or 18, because I'll be here for 6 hours sometimes. I'm preparing for the show while still being a dad and a partner and trying to, do the thing, life.
And like you say, after every show, you're buzzing, you love it.
Yeah,
and
every show.
I'm sure you like that with SOR as well.
Every show.
But just now and again, you read the odd comment that really gets you down, makes you feel low, and that's how you're feeling tonight, isn't it? Must be.
Tonight I woke up like crap, man. Like, am I even doing the right thing? Like, maybe I'm being selfish by wanting to do this. That's what I thought to myself.
So many streamers do what you do, by the way. I mean, you have this wall of great commentary, and they look at that one comment, it catches them from the side of their eye, and they're like, oh man. Exactly. And that's the one that usually gets them. A lot of streamers have, that. And it's by the way, I also want to mention that a lot of people don't get to do what they love in life. They don't have that opportunity. They go to, they search all of their life for, sometimes they don't even know what their passion is. But the fact that you know your passion and you have a chance over here to spend this time talking about the stuff that you love talking about, the stuff that like really inspires you deep inside, rather than doing like what 99% of the world does, which is a 9 to 5, and that's it. And they're very, narrow scope in their intelligence. The fact that you get to do this, that's a blessing, man. Like, you got to take it to the bank. You got to take, you know what I mean? That's awesome. Nobody does that.
You want to hear something crazy? What you just said it reminds me of when I first put out my GoFundMe on Facebook. The last time that I put my GoFundMe out on Facebook was because I put it out there, and one person said, "Get a real job." One person, and I haven't put my GoFundMe on Facebook since. I haven't shared it on Facebook since.
You should have said, if I did, then I'd be as happy as you.
I thought about that. No, listen. I was like, I'm gonna ChatGPT this response to mother. Right. How can I do this?
You're a bigger man than I for not doing it.
I try. Oh man. No, but listen, I got to get going. I gotta keep the tight hours for today because I got SOR tonight as an interview. But listen, I needed to hear what you guys said to me today. Thank you. I needed to hear that, and I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like I owe you guys something. So this week, whatever you want me to do, a couple hours extra, you want me to bring up a topic, just tell me, and I will do that. Hit me up on Discord, and I'll bring it up. But we got to be unified. Work with me here because I am essentially the only person bringing the content here. I know you guys share stuff in the Discord, but sometimes some of that stuff, karaoke, isn't. I can't put that on. Yesterday, I had to delete the video from YouTube because we were talking about. Man, I can't even say it because I don't want to have to delete this video. But again, that's why.
What have I put on there that's wrong?
What's that?
What have I put on there that's wrong?
Oh no, nothing that you said was wrong. What I said.
You mention my name.
You listen to me. I'm messing with you. What I'm yesterday I had to delete. We got into some areas where I have to be careful about what I say. But we got into some areas yesterday where I guess YouTube didn't like it, and I got a red flag on the video. And so I deleted. The good news is this: Twitch doesn't do that. So the video is still up on Twitch if anybody wants to see it. If wants to go back, it'll be on there for like 14 days, I think, or 7 or 14 days. But YouTube, I had to unlist it, or at least unlist it or make it private. So I made it private. I'm not deleting it. I'm not going to delete that because it's my content. But I just can't make it public. I can't make it public. I had to take it down. Now the other good news is that I'm not funded by YouTube. I'm not monetized by them. So, again, we can keep having those conversations, and if I got to delete off YouTube, so be it. I do not want to stop having those conversations. I don't care how crazy they get. To me, I think it's important to have them. I want to pull a Joe Rogan and, say whatever we want to. Just take it off Spotify if we have to. It's all about.
Well, I tell you, out of your 22 hours of your listening audio at night, I suggest you clip this audio from this show and put it in the rotation so you hear it every once in a while.
Yeah, man.
This was real. Awesome. I'm gonna download this video, and I'll send it to the unicorn because she will not let me forget. I'll forget. She won't let me. The moment that I feel down, she'll literally be like, she'll make me watch this. I guarantee it. I'll do that. I'll do that for you guys.
That's all part of being involved in this community. You'll always get down. I mean, look at me. What do I say all the time? I've been doing it too long. I don't care if they're good or bad. Just let them. That's the way. But I'm still here. I've got that. I've given up with it in half of my head, but the rest of me is like, no, I'm still involved. So, you know, and I'm like, I'm long in the tooth. I've been doing it long enough. You're only in your 30s, aren't you? So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's worse.
Mid 30s. I'm 35, man. I'm getting there. I got a couple grays in there, you know.
Well, well, I'm not grey. It's chrome colour.
I'll be pepper dread in no time. Just wait for it.
You know? Dread. Dusty dread.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you. I love you guys, and thank you for this.
Hey, anytime, brother.
Right.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, see you later, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
All right,
love you, Mark.
Later, guys.
I love you guys, man. Seriously.
Take care.
Peace. I love you guys too in the chat. Thank you so much. I really, again, I apologize for being a downer today. I'm a resilient guy. I'm also quite optimistic about, especially when it comes to like what I want to do. I'm determined and obsessed, but I'm human. So I apologize for the, if it felt negative, I was, but I really appreciate the support, to hearing you say that. And again, thank you. And with that, everybody, I will be back here tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time, for the minimum 4-hour show. Same place. Catch y'all on the stream tomorrow. Dr. Doors out. Peace.